Boris Johnson has been praised for standing up to the EU in the face of their Brexit trade deal demands. Bruges Group think tank director Robert Olds argued the EU was not used to getting their way in the Brexit trade deal negotiations. During an interview with Express.co.uk, Mr. Olds claimed Boris Johnson had shown he would not roll over and cave to the EU. He added the current demands from the EU are too high and Britain should remain firm and not agree to them despite the threat of a no deal. Mr. Olds said, the EU are not getting their way. They are used to a country agreeing to whatever demands they make, that they would give way. Similarly, how the Greeks gave way in the discussions about the austerity measures inflicted on Greece. Whenever the EU makes a proposal, they always expect member states to fall into line. The dynamic with Great Britain is different. Mr. Olds went into detail of how the UK standing firm in the Brexit trade talks caused shock in the EU. He added, despite Boris Johnson's government signing up to the future relationship with the EU, which does suggest the European Union would have some degree of control over the UK's fishing waters, alignment, policy and tax policy, Britain isn't actually giving way. Despite us signing up to this and suggesting that Boris Johnson's government, before the general election, would give the EU what it wanted, that is not what is playing out. The government is so far standing firm and the European Union are simply not used to this and are unprepared. At this moment in time, it looks like the Brexit trade deal talks could collapse. It looks like there would be no agreement on European Union terms between the UK and the bloc. This is a good thing. While not arguing the UK should push for a no-deal Brexit, Mr. Olds argued the EU is over-demanding in the talks. He added the UK should not sign up to a new relationship that would ultimately threaten the sovereignty of the country. He closed by saying, what the EU is demanding is far too high. It means that Britain is not a sovereign country. If the UK agrees to what the EU wants, Britain would be out of the European Union but still run by the EU. The government know that the position is untenable politically. Boris Johnson has more recently caused frustration in the EU by attempting to amend parts of the withdrawal agreement. EU chief negotiator Michel Barnier has said this threatens to severely damage the relationship between the UK and EU.